You're tuned into the stellar award-winning internet radio station.
You're at the right place at the right time.
Yes, Lord Radio.
Hold up. Wait just a minute. It's Roz on your radio.
Keep it locked right here.
Showcase, fellowship, inspire. Showcase.
Hey, it's Roz on the radio.
Showcase, fellowship, inspire.
Yes, Lord Radio. Now it's time for another Yes, Lord Radio exclusive.
Hey, everybody, it's Roz on the radio, and you're listening to another YLR exclusive. My guest today is a phenomenal actress and singer. It's Tamela Mann, who's here with us to share her latest single, Take Me to the King. First, Tamela, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, we are excited, and actually, I'm so excited to watch you and David as a successful couple and doing it together. It's something that's rare, and actually it's hard for a lot of couples.
Yes.
You live together, love together, and work very closely together. So first, I want to know what has worked for you and what can you share with other couples who may have difficulty in this area?
First and foremost, me and David are still in love. Mm-hmm. We in love. We enjoy each other's company. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what works for us. And I would just encourage everybody to just stay in love, because we're best friends. We started out best friends, and it's like best friends tell each other everything.
Right.
There's no hidden agendas, no secrets. We tell everything. I mean, everything we do is together. There's nothing separate about us. And that's what I really love. And that was also my prayer when I asked the Lord for a mate. Mm-hmm. Somebody who did the same things and liked the same things that I like. Mm-hmm. We have, very few things that we don't like together. And the only thing that I really don't like is sitting up watching ESPN all the time and CNN. But other than that, we really do. We do everything else together, and we enjoy each other's company.
That is wonderful. So enjoy each other's company and stay in love.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, you guys are doing some great things through Tillymann Entertainment. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Tillymann, a lot of people ask, where did Tilly come from? That's actually our youngest daughter. Her name is Tia, but her nickname is Tilly.
Okay.
So David just kind of took that name, and he was like, well, that's going to be our company name. I was like, okay. So, but we are independent. Once we had worked with this one promoter, and he said, if you don't invest in yourself, who do you expect to invest in you?
Right.
So that kind of influenced David to like, well, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do it. Because at first I was fighting him tooth and nail, like, I'm just enjoying just being in the background, not necessarily being out in the forefront. Mm-hmm. He was like, Sam, you're going to do a project, and we're going to do it ourselves.
Wow.
And, of course, through trial and error, we have learned. And we haven't. So we just did an album on Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown Good Old Time Church, and then we've done the 4 projects that I've done through the company. But we're really trying to establish ourselves so when we do bring somebody in, that we know what we're doing, so we can treat them right and give them a good deal, not just sign a whole bunch of people on and just have them sitting.
Right,
so that's us, taking our time and learning the ropes that we can give the person that we do bring in our undivided attention once they just come in.
Well, I think it's great because so many people have a lot of fear, and which handicaps us from doing things on our own.
And I was, that's so true that you say that, because fear will captivate you and will hold you captive, that you can't think outside the box.
Right.
Because I was like, man, my first project, just so the listeners or if you're writing will know that I did my first project at 38 years old. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like, man, I'm too old. I passed my prime. I'm already, I got a lot of odds against me. Mm-hmm. But then the Lord spoke to me and said, my timing is not your time.
Wow.
Our thoughts are not his thoughts. Mm-hmm. Our ways are not his ways. And God, just, him being the God that he is still behind his word. And each project I've grown, not just boasting in myself, but grown like spiritually as an artist, to be, before people, just in so many different areas where I'm like, my prayer is, God, I want to be caught doing his will, being in the will of God, that everything else, because when you're in his perfect will, things happen easily without struggle.
Absolutely.
When it's in the will of God. And that's kind of how the Lord has really blessed us. Not that we hadn't had ups and downs, because we have, but I feel like I've made a whole bunch of people a lot of money, so why not do it for myself?
That was something that I think a lot of us needed to hear. That was really good. Let's talk about the new CD project, both that and the single. I know it. We love it. It's been so successful. You guys debuted at #1 on several charts, so that's amazing. But the single has done well too. But tell us about the project and the inspiration behind it and what our listeners can expect.
Well, the inspiration for me on this project is I told David, everybody know me as being a wailer and, squaller. But I said, I want to do something different. I just don't want to just squall and do a bunch of high notes on this project. I want to be able to show some versatility. Seriously. I mean, it's funny, but I know.
It is.
But I really wanted somebody, to all of us, we don't want to get caught in this box. The only way that you can see me is in this one dimension.
Right.
So on this project, I did things in different keys. I did some ballads. I did some worship. I did some praise, which is totally out of the norm for me. And I did even a Kojic, kind of upbeat like song. It's called Stretch, that's on the project.
Okay.
Really, if you've ever followed me, I don't really do a bunch of sad songs. So this project, I really did something for everybody. And I know we've all heard that before, but it's something for CCM. I have like a pop song on there. Hold On, it's kind of like popish vibe. Then I have your regular church traditional. Then I have your Christian worship, Christian praise. Then I have went even back in traditional tradition, did the hymn medley, which is the blood medley that I did for our seasoned saints. But I also wanted to introduce, and our urban, I call it urbany, because it's kind of, bob a little bit. It's kind of back in the day praise. You kind of good riding song, or good skating song for a party. It's just things of that nature. But I was about to say is I really wanted, if you notice on all my projects, I do something kind of old because our young people really don't know of hymns like I'll say my age group would know. Us baby boomers would know because, we kind of live fast and that's kind of old folky. But I'm just trying to bring them back around that these are things that have helped our people get through. And if it helps them get through, we're going to need it too.
That's right. That's right.
So that's kind of why I kind of reach back each time and kind of do something from the older way, and it's kind of put my own little spin on how I do it or how I feel the Lord is seeking me to do it. So that's what you get a big bag of Cracker Jacks. You get a surprise on birthday.
I love it. So you work with Myron Butler and Kirk Franklin.
And also Terrell Carter did some producing on it, and this other young man named King Logan that did some producing on there as well.
Wow.
So I kind of have a few little different elements, some younger guys. But mine has worked with me on all my projects. He's able to pull stuff out of me. Like, that, not to say that nobody else can, because Kirk did something totally different with me, and I just really, really enjoyed it. But another thing on this project that I would like for people to know is how the enemy was really fighting me tooth and nail on this project. I mean, I had problems with my voice, which that's not the norm for me. Where, I had to kind of back off like 3 different times where I had to just shut down and do no singing.
Wow.
And I was like, Lord, and I'm the type of person, when I don't have my voice, Roz, it makes me, I'm really broken. It breaks me to the extent of, like, I'm talking about into tears, and I'm like, Lord, I want to be able to have all my gears, as my family call it. They was like, well, you don't have your 3rd gear. That means when you can get up real high. That's funny.
That's
funny
good.
That's how they relate to it. It was like, you don't have your 3rd gear.
Oh, wow.
it's not there. And then I had problems with my eyes where they had to drive me. I couldn't read. It was hard for me to even read, see television.
Wow.
But I said, God, if I'm going through all of this, I said, you're going to get the glory out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going through this, I know it's something special that you have for your people.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going through all this, I know this CD is for somebody. And the testimonials that I've been getting back, I'm telling you, I've been boo-hooing because of the fact of people saying I want to give up, and you saying exactly what I was thinking. And
wow.
I mean, I just really just been crying, and you know, some people to the point where I want to take my own life. And
wow.
it's just,
Wow.
I'm telling you, we serve a great God.
We do.
We serve a great God, and I just believe. I'm just crazy enough to believe that all things are possible. When I pray it, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's so. I believe it's so, and it's going to happen. It's going to come to pass. And that's how I just want the people of God to just keep that heart that regardless of what's going on in the world, I know I'm going on, but regardless of what's going on in the world, God is still in control.
Mm-hmm.
He's still in control of our lives, the things that he wants us to have. He said if our ways please him, he'll give us the desires of our heart.
Mm-hmm.
And also that he's never seen the righteous forsaken. And if you are of the righteous, you're not going to be forsaken.
That's right.
Everything that you need is going to come. You know, sometimes he wants us to wait. He makes us wait because he wants to know if he can trust us.
That's
with
right.
what he has in store for us. So I'm just believing God for so many things. And even with this project, I asked God to do some extraordinary things with this project for his kingdom, not for my glory. I don't want any glory, no merits for myself. I give it all back to God because I just believe right now I'm just looking at the numbers of the world, how we can sell out a concert, how their projects can go super platinum.
Right.
But we, the saints of God, we're struggling to just reach a quota.
Wow.
Oh, God forbid. Grace will abound. I'm just like, no, that it has to be. And I was like, God, this is for you. This is for you. And I want the people to recognize that it's not me, but you're doing this. You're making these numbers happen. I'm not doing nothing undercut. No, it's all like flat, straight numbers. I mean, that people are supporting and getting out. I'm asking God to bless the sound of the music. So when they hear it, that they get what they need. Because right now we need to hear from the Lord.
We do. We do. You know, and this is so beautiful to hear you sharing this with us today, Tamela, because I was just telling my sister actually just this morning that God does things with us, even to the people that are saints and sinners. He puts things in you to say at the right time that somebody else needed to hear that. So I'm just actually overjoyed and just tickled right now at all the things that you were saying, because I'm like, okay, that's exactly right. Now, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk about Take Me to the King, because it's such a perfect flow into what you just said. This song, I know that it's for everybody, but yes, it is. It just reminds me of somebody that's just broken down to the ground, and you're forced. All you can do is take it to the King. So share with us a little bit about this song.
Well, this song, Take Me to the King, is actually, again, like you just said, it's speaking to the hearts of the people. Because it's saying what a lot of us are thinking without saying.
Right.
So it's like, truth is, we're tired. Yes, our options are few. We're trying to pray. We're wondering, Lord, do you hear me? I'm praying, God. I'm reaching out to you. I'm doing all I know how, but are you there?
Yes.
Do you hear me? But he does hear us. Again, he is in control, and he is waiting on us to trust him and also to bring and cast our cares on him, for he cares for us. And I mean, when I'm talking about us as a whole, not just the body of Christ, but people as a whole, because a lot of times people are just looking for a way out.
Right.
And that's what we're called to do, is share the good news and bring the good news. And this is what this is about, that whatever your situation is, it's not too bad, it's not too small, it's not too big. You can take it all to the King. So that's, I believe, Kurt, when he came to me, he was like, I just asked the Lord to give me something for you. He said, and this is kind of where the Lord directed him, and it's saying what we are all feeling.
Right.
That we can take it to the King. You can, but it's nothing too hard. It's nothing too big that he can't handle, because he's a sovereign God. He doesn't need our help. That's what we get in the way a lot of times. We try to fix it.
Exactly.
We try to work it out. And God, He is the author. He's the finisher of our faith. And He knows what the end is going to be.
That's
I'm really
right.
getting happy here. I'm really getting happy here. So I'm like, man, but God is going to get glorified. Whether I do it, whether you do it,
right.
Anybody that's listening, He's going to get the glory out of this regardless.
He is.
His word is not going to return for it. Whether you want it or not, it's going to get out.
Praise God. I was watching the video because I was on your website, which is really, really nice. But I was watching the scenes of you and Kirk in the studio, and I was just thrilled to see the passion behind the making of this song, the production of the song.
God.
It was really wonderful to see that. But at the end, Kirk, he was amazing, his vocals were so amazing. I just want everybody to go listen to this and watch this video.
Yeah, because it was, and it was funny too, because me listening to Kirk kind of sing it to you, because he don't claim to be a singer.
Right.
He's not a singer. But I got so tickled because I was thinking like, okay, say that again, because a lot of things we had to edit out to kind of get it down. But it was, what the great thing for me was I got to be with him by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be selfish, but for one point, and I'm not a selfish person, I was happy to have him to myself, because normally like with the family and everybody else, there's always a lot of people around.
Mm-hmm.
It was like nobody in the studio but me, him, and the guy that was the other tech that was in there working it.
Mm-hmm.
And he even put David out. So it was like a really wonderful one-on-one, and to see the growth from it's been 20 years since we worked together.
Wow.
The growth that he's made, the growth that I've made. And, one comment that he made that we cut out, he was like, Tam, I didn't realize how much I missed your voice.
Oh.
And I was like, man, I said, it's the same for me with your direction. I said, I just kept saying, I'm so happy, I'm so thankful for you, for this opportunity, you taking out the time and doing this for me. Because he went all out. I'm talking about he put some time in. I'm talking about over into the morning. Not just one night. This was like several nights, him saying like to wee hours of the morning. And what was funny is once he would leave, he would call us and say, hey, y'all, I just finished working on something. I'm just leaving the studio. This would be like 3 a.m. I'm like, you could have called me tomorrow. But it was just a blessing.
Wow, that's wonderful. I cannot wait for people to hear this if they haven't already heard it. But what we're going to do now, we're getting ready to play Take Me to the King. I want you guys to, as always, share your comments with us by visiting us on the YLR Shout Box. And meet us on the Yes Lord Radio Facebook, and keep up with me on Facebook.com and Twitter/Roz on the radio. Tamela, how can everybody stay connected to you?
You can go to TamelaMann.com and connect you to our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram. You can keep up with us that way and follow us where we're going, what we're doing. TamelaMann.com or DavidandTamelaMann.com. Connect you to all of them.
Wonderful.
And I really appreciate everybody for their support. I couldn't do it without you. And I need everybody to keep and tell everybody to go out and keep purchasing it, those who who don't have it, because I'm fighting against a whole bunch of guys right now. It's like all the men in the industry. I'm like, everybody's releasing prices. I'm like, where are the ladies at? I'm on the ladies. But I need all the women to go and help us to stay on top.
Absolutely. You guys, please support Tamela Mann. And Tamela, this was a wonderful and a blessed meeting with you today, to just talk with you and to hear your story and to hear you share your testimony with us. We're going to take you guys out. Here's Tamela Mann from her latest CD project, Best Days. It's Take Me to the King.
Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where